At about 11:30 p.m., I personally appealed to the protocol and the security of the Vice President at room 304 if they could possibly already leave the premises, as there's always a practice during long weekends that we turn off power. It's because to save on energy, tayo centralize ang air conditioning.
Natanggap po natin kay Congressman Pulong Duterte, kung po pwede, instead na dun sa detention facility, ilipat dun sa kanyang office. Doon na lang i-house si Attorney Lopez. Ito po hindi natin pinayagan. Respect begets respect.
Anong oras ba dumating dito si VP Sara? Kailan niya intended umalis po?
Maraming salamat, Ian. Napansin mo, kanina ka pa nakatingin sa akin, so alam ko na ako yung unang-una mong tatanungin. So let me share with you what transpired. I'll give you the chronological timeline of the events that transpired from yesterday until noon today. As regards the visit in the House of Representatives of Vice President Sara Duterte. Let's start with, just give you a very brief rundown by time. At about 2 p.m. yesterday, the arrival of the advance party of the OBP inside the complex of the House of Representatives. And about 2 hours after that, just before 4 p.m., the security team of the Vice President coordinated with our Legislative Security Bureau. And we basically briefed them about our House rules and the security protocols and guidelines. At about 4 o'clock, we received an advice from the security that the Vice President is on her way. However, it was not until 19:45, or about 2 hours after, that the Vice President actually arrived. And she was brought directly to the visitor center of the House of Representatives, situated at near the South Gate. There, we also brought Yusek Zulaika Lopez for them to meet. And they were there until 10 o'clock, which is our based on our house rules. That's the latest that we will allow visitors to our detained guests. And at about 10 o'clock, the Vice President, together with Yusek Lopez, actually prepared to leave the premises of the visitor center, as we have requested. However, after 3 minutes, that Attorney Lopez started heading her way back to our detention center, the Vice President, at about 10:05, also rode her convoy, which is right adjacent to our South Gate. And we were all assuming that she will start turning right, exiting the House of Representatives. However, her convoy went straight ahead, heading towards the Southwest Annex. South Wing Annex, sorry. And we talked over the phone to the security, and we were informed that the VP will just change using the room of the Honorable Pulong Duterte. And so we waited. But waited until 1 hour. At about 11 p.m., I started to proceed to the office of the Honorable Duterte to find out what's going on, what's causing the delay. At about 11:30 p.m., I personally appealed to the protocol and the security of the Vice President at room 304 if they could possibly already leave the premises, as there's always a practice during long weekends that we turn off power in all our buildings. If you will note, if you will go around Congress during Thursday na walang pasok ng Biyernes, Sabado at Linggo, ino-off po talaga natin yung power. One, it's because to save on energy, tayo centralize ang air conditioning. And second, to prevent po yung occurrence ng electrical fire. Dahil hindi po natin alam kung mayroon nakapag-iwan ng mga chargers or laptops or whatnot sa kanya-kanya mga opisina. So standard doon natin ginagawa yun. And normally nga po, it's at 10:30 na ginagawa natin na ino-off. In the case last night, in deference to the Vice President, inabot po tayo ng 12:30 bago natin talagang in-off na. So, simula ho midnight or 12:30 in the morning hanggang kanina umaga, the close-in team of the Vice President stayed locked inside room 304. So about 7:30 this morning, upon request of our personnel and finance office, we had to turn on the power again dahil magtatrabaho po sila sa SWA. So that's about 7:30 this morning. 8 o'clock, the Vice President security team remained locked inside the room 304. At 10:53, we noticed the Vice President together with entourage left the room of the Honorable Pulong Duterte, and we followed her all the way to the detention facility. At 11:07 this morning, the Vice President was allowed by the chairman of the Governance Committee to visit and once again discuss with Attorney Zulaika Lopez at our House of Representatives Custodial Center. That's about all I have for you. Thank you.
Sir, General Taas, wala naman siya complaint na, syempre, nawala ng kuryente, so magdamag siyang walang power doon.
Wala ho kaming narinig na complaint dahil I would assume dahil napagsabi, hindi naman ho kami nagkulang ng pag-remind. Sinabi ho namin na baka uminit at sana ho maintindihan ninyo dahil policy ho sa house ito para makaiwas tayo sa aksidente at makatipid din po tayo ng kuryente. Isipin nyo kung isang kwarto lang yung ating bibigyan ng kuryente pero kailangan yung kabuuan, umaandar ho yung air conditioning unit. Na imagine nyo na ho kung gaano kalaking...
General, dun sa huling pag-uusap nyo, nakita namin kanina, kailan daw po aalis dito si VP? May sabi po ba siya? Ano po bang sentimiento niya?
Hindi po namin napag-usapan yung kailan siya aalis. As far as yung kailan siya aalis, is yun yung usapan between us at saka yung security at saka yung protocol. Hindi po tayo nagsasabi kay Vice President noon. However, ang napag-usapan po namin kanina is hinihintay ko lamang bago ko siya papasukin doon sa detention facility, yun yung approval ng aming butihing chairman na indeed, inaprubahan po yung pagbisita doon sa detention facility. Dahil, kung matandaan po ninyo, kahapon ho, hindi yung detention yung pinag-meetingan nila. Doon po tayo sa visitor center dahil strict ho yung mga protocols sa detention center. Kaya ho, mas maganda doon sa kabila. Yun ang pinag-uusapan namin. Sabi ko, baka pwede po na doon tayo sa kabila. Pero minarapat ng ating Vice President na Tito. At inaprubahan naman nating chairman.
Last from my end, Sir, Congressman Chua, kayo po, ano po ang sentiments ng komite dito sa nangyayari ngayon dito na pagbisita po ni VP Sara?
Well, briefly, bigyan ko muna kayo ng background kung ano po yung mga nangyari. Nagkaroon po ng mga exchanges of correspondence. Nagpadala po sa akin ng sulat, mga letter requests, ang si Attorney Zulaika, ganun din po si Vice President, at saka si Congressman Pulong Duterte. Ang request po ni Attorney Zulaika, una, ay kung po pwede siyang i-allow na pumunta sa kanyang therapy. So, ito po ay sa ating pong correspondence, pinapayagan po natin siya, provided ibibigay po niya yung oras, yung lugar, at saka i-escortan po siya ng ating Sergeant at Arms, tao ng Sergeant at Arms. Pangalawa, sumulat po sa atin si Vice President kung po pwede na mag-stay siya kasama si Attorney Zulaika for the duration ng kanyang detention. Ito po ay hindi natin inalaw dahil unang-una hindi naman po siya part ng naikukulong. So, pero sumulat uli siya, humingi siya ng permiso kung po pwede na mabisita niya si Attorney Zulaika at yun naman po ay pinayagan naman po natin. Ang isa pa pong sulat na natanggap po natin kay Congressman Pulong Duterte, kung po pwede, instead na dun sa detention facility, ilipat dun sa kanyang office. Doon na lang i-house si Attorney Lopez. Ito po hindi natin pinayagan dahil otherwise, ang mangyayari po niyan, yung susunod po, yung mga iba pa pong mga may connection o may mga kaibigan na congressman, gano'n na lang po ang gagawin. So sa amin pong paniniwala ay bad precedent po pag pinayagan po natin. At saka siyempre, ayaw naman po natin na magbigay ng pabor. Gusto naman po natin pantay-pantay po lahat ang mga i-detain po dito. Sumulat po ulit sa atin si Attorney Zulaika. May mga 5 po siyang concessions na hinihingi. Una, na mabigyan siya ng companion para masamahan siya sa kanyang pag-i-stay. Ito po ay pinagbigyan po natin dahil alam naman po natin yung kanyang condition. Meron po siyang back condition. In fact, doon po sa committee hearing, provided yung kanyang companion ay na pinayagan po natin ay isang miyembro ng kanyang immediate family. Ang pangalawang concession na hinihingi po niya ay mabigyan siya ng daily visit ng kanyang personal physician para ma-check yung kanyang health status. At ito naman po ay ating pinagbigyan na payagan siya provided na makipag-coordinate sa ating Sergeant at Arms, sa opisina ng Sergeant at Arms at sumunod sa mga guidelines. Pangatlo po, humingi po siya ng permiso para regularly na magkaroon ng rehabilitation session sa kanyang frozen shoulder. So ito po pinayagan po natin provided na yung time, yung place at saka siya ay bibigyan ng escort ng ating Sergeant at Arms. Pangatlo, humihingi siya ng security personnel na po pwede na may designate. So, ito po pumayag tayo subject to the condition na tayo yung security po natin dito sa house ang ibibigay po natin. At ang ikalima po, nabigyan siya ng permiso na yung staff at saka council niya bisitahin siya sa Sunday dahil meron daw in preparation for the Monday's hearing. At ito naman po pinayagan natin subject sa guidelines ng OSA at binigyan natin siya ng oras from 1 to 7 p.m. So, yun po. So, halos, kung makikita naman po ninyo, halos lahat naman po ng hiningi nila na concessions ay binigay natin subject to certain conditions.
Sir, hi. Tristan po from Newswatch Plus. Sir, confirm ko lang yung first request ni VP Sara is to accompany Attorney Lopez po na magstay siya rin sa detention, sir, until matapos ni Attorney Lopez yung detention niya.
Yes po, yun po yung initial letter niya na hindi naman po natin napagbigyan dahil siyempre meron naman po tayong sinusunod na guidelines. Pero yung pangalawang sulat po niya na kung po pwede bisitahin si Attorney Lopez, ay yun naman po ay pinagbigyan natin subject to guidelines din ng Sergeant at Arms.
Excuse me, Miss Vivian from ABS.
Good afternoon. Sir, so hindi po pinayagan si Vice President Duterte na magstay dun sa detention facility, pero outside the detention facility, pero within the Batasan compound, allowed po ba si VP po mag-spend, for example, ng weekend doon?
What do you mean?
For example,
Ang request po kasi niya is samahan si Attorney Zulaika sa loob ng detention. Hindi naman po natin papayagan kasi hindi naman po siya detainee. At saka sa totoo lang, syempre medyo high profile po ito eh. It will require so much security. Security risk po to dahil pangalawang pangulo po to. I do not know if we have enough security dito para mabantayan ang pangalawang pangulo.
kasi I understand last night dun siya nagstay sa office ni Representative Duterte. So, pwede po ba siya dun magstay for the night? Oo.
Yes. Hindi ko po alam kasi sa guidelines, pero kasi po kung pag pinakikinggan po kanina yung sinasabi ni Sergeant at Arms, medyo risky rin po dahil may mga protocol po tayong sinusunod dito. So could you imagine kung mag-i-stay ka po doon, ikaw lang, yung isang opisina lang ang bubuksan natin. Pero yung buong, kagaya po na sinasabi ni Sergeant at Arms, centralized, parang medyo hindi naman po yata maganda yun. So, sa akin naman po, wala naman po masama kung umuwi at pagkatapos the following day, po pwede naman po bumalik. Welcome naman po. Yun naman po talaga yung, maski naman po yung mga lawyers ni VP, i-allow din po natin sa mga ganong klaseng arrangement.
So until what time po pwede Representative Chua or Sergeant Sir Taas, kung hanggang anong oras po pwede si VP Duterte dito today, and sa weekends po, ano yung schedule ng visit na ipapayagan po natin?
Hindi lang po kay ating pangalawang Pangulo, sa lahat po ng bibisita sa ating mga nakadetain. Ang policy po natin is pag-aho merong session, inaalaw ho natin hanggang alas 7 ng gabi. Dahil obviously marami yung tao from Monday to Wednesday. However, pag po Thursday hanggang weekend, subject po sa approval ng committee na may hold po dun sa So, pwede ho ating i-allow hanggang 7 din ng gabi. Dahil anything beyond that, overtime na nga po, tama po si Chairman Chua, napakarami yung security yung kailangan nating i-devote doon sa isang bisita lamang.
Ako po, simple lang po ang opinion ko po dito. Sana naman po yung respeto po at yung leniency na binibigay po natin sa ating Vice President, suklian din naman po niya ng respeto sa atin. Yung mga tao po, kagaya po ni Sergeant at Arms at yung mga personnel po dito po sa House Rep, ginagawa lamang po yung kanilang trabaho alinsunod po sa guidelines. So, pag may nangyari naman po, unang-una po, si ating Vice President, high profile po yan na personality. Hindi naman po yung ordinaryong mamamayan. Pag may nangyari po dyan, sagutin din po nila yan. So, sana po, wala naman pong masama na makipagtulungan sa amin. Lahat naman po, as long as within the bounds of law, ay ibibigay naman po namin. Ang hinihiling lang po namin, sana po sumunod lamang po nang sa ganun ay hindi na magkaroon ng ganitong klaseng issue. Respect begets respect. Yun lang po.
We acknowledge Ms. Llanesca.
Good afternoon po. Llanesca Pantilla, May News Online. Sir, what would happen if the Vice President chose to stay? What would be ano ba yung provided for by the rules of the House? Given such, in the event that there is a defiance on the part of the Vice President?
Wala pong nakasaad doon sa House dahil nga po sa rules natin, dahil nga I believe the House rules was made with the principle na tayo mga Pilipino, pinaka most hospitable na mga mamamayan sa buong mundo, na kaya po kung ano lang yung i-request sa atin, pinagbibigyan naman natin. So, hindi ho na-cover yun kung ano yung gagawin. At ngayon nga po, kung gamitin itong pagkakataon na to para ipaabot, yung pakiusap na rin po ng mga security ng ating pangalawang Pangulo, na kung maaari nga po, sasabi ho ni Chairman kanina, pwede naman mong dumalaw bukas. Huwag na lang ho mag-stay dito sa gabi. Dahil alam niyo yung gabi, talagang kailangan doblehin natin yung security dahil pangalawang Pangulo nga po ito. So, kagabi po is medyo marami-rami ho yung nag-overtime.
Dadagdagan ko lang po yung sagot ni Sir, ni Sergeant at Arms, na kung gusto po niya ng much longer time, siguro po pwede naman po siyang mag-request ng extension. So sa ako tingin ko naman po, kung reasonable naman po yung extension na hihingin, another hour or 2 to the max, wala naman po, pagbibigyan naman po natin. Pero sana naman po, wag naman po niya isagad kasi po it will parang hindi po magandang precedent. Otherwise, sasabihin po na meron po tayong pinapaboran dito. Porke po ba pangalawang Pangulo, pinapayagan ninyo? Paano naman yung mga maliliit na tao? Yung mga ordinaryo na nakukulong po dito, hindi namin. Siyempre, ang batas naman po natin dapat pantay-pantay. Ini-implement po natin yan, nakapwesto ka po o hindi, dapat ang pag-i-implement po niyan, pantay-pantay. Huwag po sanang sasama ang loob ni Vice President sa ating mga staff, mga ordinaryong tao lang po yan, sila po ay nagpapatupad lamang ng kanilang tungkulin.
Next question will be from Ms. Ria Camille, TV5, then followed by Vic Sumintak.
Hi, sir. Ria Fernandez, TV5 po. In normal circumstances, when is the visiting hours? What time? Every when?
under normal circumstances, it's 8 to 11 in the morning and 1 o'clock in the afternoon until 5. During non-working days, or maybe in our case, Thursday. But during session days, we allow it until 7 p.m. That's the latest. Pero as much as possible, we would like to keep it at 5 p.m. But upon request, we can extend 2 more hours up to 7.
Okay, if there is a request, you allow maximum of 2 hours. Only Monday to Thursday, no Friday, no weekends.
Weekends, we do allow, except Sundays. Okay, and on weekends, we allow visitation from 8 to 11 in the morning and 1 o'clock in the afternoon until 5.
Until 5. Sir,
Except none on Sundays.
to your recollection, sir, in the House's history, is this the first time that this happened?
I've been the Sergeant at Arms since July of 2022. Yes, the answer is yes. It's the first time we've experienced this.
Until now, as we speak, sir, the Vice President is still in the office of Congressman Duterte.
Before coming here, she was still at the detention facility together with Attorney Lopez. I would have to check if she's still there, and I'll get back to you.
Okay po. Kong Joel, are we considering going to the office of Kong Duterte to personally appeal to the Vice President and relay yung ating concerns, most especially na it will entail a lot of security if she will remain defiant or she will be defiant?
Well, siguro mami, pag-uusapan muna namin ni Sergeant at Arms what is best, no? But ako siguro naman, tayo naman mga reasonable tao tayo eh. 'Di ba? Lahat naman po tayo dito, lingkod bayan. So, ang trabaho po natin bilang lingkod bayan ay sumunod sa batas at magpatupad ng batas. Eh kung tayo po mismo hindi susunod sa batas, eh paano pa natin ipatutupad ang mga batas?
Pero halimbawa po, kunwari po, you want to set limits already to the visit po. Meron po ba tayong parang penalty for
And
someone?
to cut you
okay,
short, no? Dapat pa bang sabihin na sumunod sa batas? Ang ating pangalawang pangulo, ang ating pong pangalawang pangulo ay isang abogada. Siya po ay pangalawa sa pinakamataas na opisyal ng ating bansa. Nag-oath po kami ng aming panunungkulan na kami po ay susunod sa alituntunin. So sa tingin ko naman po, magiging reasonable naman po ang ating pangalawang pangulo at sa tingin ko naman po ay alam naman din po niya kung ano po ang dapat niyang gawin at alituntunin po dito.